Hey, what up guys? How you doing? It is Lasty here. Welcome today to a new episode of the FIFA 20 Ultimate Team Road to Glory, episode number 160. 160 today. Our mission for this episode is as follows. We need to finish off our weekend league. We're going to adjust the team ever so slightly, and we're also going to pack a little walkout from a challenge SBC throughout the video. If you do enjoy, do me a favour, hit that thumbs up button. We are aiming for 2,000 likes on this Monday. Can you smash it? Can you smash that Monday support? That would be awesome. And of course, subscribe to the channel if you are new. Click the little notification bell and let me know in the comments if you are a member of the No-T gang. So, we start the episode off. I was basically just doing a couple of bits in the menus. Like, I had to buy a couple of players to get from bronze, or to get from Bronze Weekly into Silver Weekly. I then went and played a Squad Battles match to get a couple of thousand XP from Silver Weekly. And essentially, we're going to get a little bit bottlenecked if we don't score with Spanish players or assist with Spanish players there. So I'll have to do that at some point in time, just because I know that the weekly gold stuff is typically rivals. And this episode is weekend league based, but we're going to move into rivals during the week to finish off Osimhen, aren't we? So the big change you've just seen right there is the major change we're going to make to the team. I had to do it. We're going to switch out Dan James for Bernardo Silva in the starting 11, simply because as much as James is okay on this game, Bernardo Silva is something else, and I think we were doing it the wrong way round. So essentially, Bernardo Silva was coming on as a super sub, and he's not like blisteringly quick, whereas someone like Dan James is, and I think has more of a super sub potential, whereas Bernardo Silva needs to be playing that first 60 minutes of the game using his full chemistry ability and just how class he is on FIFA 20. So that is the switch, that is the change that I felt like I had to make. It was also recommended to me by someone in the comment section yesterday. I know we wanted to try out Dan James, and he's done all right. He just hasn't really got that involved. He got a few assists for us this weekend league, but I guess that's kind of all I hope for and expect from my wide cams. But as you can see here, like Bernardo Silva was getting right on track with what I want him to do. He was getting assists and stuff from the get-go, and I do genuinely just think that he is a game-changing player on FIFA 20, especially if he's in that squad from the start, and then bringing him off as someone that is quick but not blistering for someone like Dan James or Ryan Kent, one of those crazy fast players towards the end of the game. That can then make a difference, because if your opponent has been sat there thinking or like dealing with Bernardo Silva's pace all game long, and then all of a sudden you bring on someone with 8 more pace than him, then, well, they're going to struggle as you sprint down the wing against their low stamina left back or whatever. So that's kind of like the idea. That's why I made the switch. And I just think that's for the better of the team overall. Saying that, we go on a pretty terrible run here in the weekend league today. You'll see it as it all unfolds and stuff. But knowing we were 7-0, things got out of hand quite quickly. So we come up against the Eusebio, and for some reason his shots don't get AI blocked. Whatever he does, like no matter what, this Eusebio he can skill round your defenders and not get auto lunged or auto tackled or properly tackled. He's one of those broken cards, man, and I think that's why a lot of people pay so much money for him. What a great card. It's such a shame actually with the way that FIFA 20 is this year, is that I'll unlikely be able to have like prime Eusebio in my main squad like I did in last year's Road to Glory, simply because we have no icon SBCs. Sad times. I hope they come back. I mean, I guess they won't come back for FIFA 20, but I hope that they are a part of the next FIFA, just because everyone wants them, right? We all like stuff to really grind towards that main icon player for our squad. I think having them alongside icon swaps, it would be I think that could work, because once like this Guardiola and Raul and stuff that I've got in my club right now, it would be great if I could use them as part as the icon requirement in like a Eusebio SBC and help save myself a couple 100,000 coins. It would be good, and I just think it would be one of those things that would benefit the player base anyway, for sure. So then we come up against this. Baby Cruyff, baby Pele, baby Eusebio. Either this guy has done a lot of icon baby icon packs and got seriously lucky, or he's someone that just has a lot of coins and has bought those crazy meta players. But he was too good for me, I'm not going to lie. 2-0 down after 17 minutes, getting scoop turned by Cruyff and just absolutely annihilated by Eusebio. He's one of them players, man. I just can't deal with him on this game. So yeah, you'll see quite a lot of rage quits throughout this episode. Things just, I don't know if I was just in a really bad mindset or bad mind for it, or yeah, just like, I don't know. It wasn't quite working out for me. Considering we started off so good, going 7-0, for this second half of the weekend league to go quite as badly as it did. Maybe some of it was down to the fact that I had like 4 hours sleep rather than just a good night's. I don't know. Who knows? You can make up excuses all day, but I certainly wasn't playing as well as I was in the first 7 matches. Or the opponents get harder, and that's where I find my level. That's where I start bottling it, because I am an average or below average player on this game with quite a nice team, and that sometimes just helps me get the wins. So this game right here, my opponent had some crazy players. He had like that Moments Hazard. He had this Lautaro Martinez, who is incredibly dangerous on FIFA 20. I'd love to use him, but he does cost an arm and a leg. But we were lucky enough to go 3-2 up against him. We then give a penalty away, and this is in the 88th minute. I'm like sitting here so stressed out. Like, are we really going to go to extra time here? But a good save from Van der Sar means that we are going to win this match. And I'm not going to lie, when you look at these stats, I fully rigged this guy. I'm pretty sure this is the fella. Yeah. Look at that. I had 3 shots all game. They all went in. He had 21 shots, 12 of which were on target, and somehow I won 3-2. You remember yesterday when I thought I was getting rigged and I eventually came back to win, and I said I would have been so annoyed if I had lost that game 2-0? I basically just got that luck against my opponent and then somehow kept the win, and he didn't manage to turn the game around. So yeah, I felt terrible, but at the time I didn't realise I'd literally only had 3 shots. What can you do, right? I was just trying to hold it in there. His defense was very good. I guess once I got through that defense, the 3 times that I did, I was actually able to score the goals. So I was being pretty clinical. But yeah, to hold off Lautaro and Hazard and that all game long was not an easy task. And GG's to Van der Sar for that one. So I did the winter refresh challenge, or whatever they're called, and we're actually going to get a little walkout from it. It's nothing crazy, but it's going to add some coins to the club, of course. We get a little Kimmich here. It's okay considering. I think the challenge SBC itself was garbage and had a terrible pack reward. Like a gold players pack. Like, who honestly really wants one of them? One rare gold player. Hey, sometimes it works out for you, and we end up packing a Kimmich, which is going to sell for just over 17,000 coins. So it's profit from that SBC for us. But like 9 times out of 10 that doesn't happen. Maybe 99 times out of 100 that doesn't happen. But yeah, we got quite lucky with that one, I guess you could say. We do have like a plan though. I want to pack one of these frozen winter cards. All right, this is like if we're classing this as a promo, I'm not really sure. It doesn't seem like a promo based around players like myself. Road to Glory players. This seems like a promo literally dedicated to those that spend absolute bags on the game, which I'm not a huge fan of, if I'm honest. I've noticed that the teams in this weekend league have been up a notch, I would say, which indicates that maybe more people have been spending more money trying to pack these prime icon moments or whatever. But yeah, it doesn't seem very catered towards anyone that doesn't spend actual real money on the game and tries to play it Road to Glory style, because we've had a lack of proper player SBCs, unless there's one out on the day. By the time you're watching this, I'm recording this before 6 p.m. on Sunday night, so I don't know if we got a player SBC last night. I, of course, will know by the time this video is out, but nothing on the first night, nothing on the Saturday night, and typically Sunday content is nothing really, not much anyway, just because it is, the day of rest apparently. So I would hope to see some frozen cards in the SBC section at some point, or an objective to work towards, to grind towards. That would be quite nice. However, I don't know. It just seems like they brought Prime Moments out. They brought these frozen cards out, and they're not really that attainable. They're not that accessible. I need to wait to get my rewards before I can even possibly pack one. So we'll get there, I hope. It would be nice to pack one of those blue cards because they do look pretty cool. It's probably, I would say to date, my favourite card design. I think it genuinely looks amazing. It looks like a Moments card, but just all frozen out and blue, which I do love. I'm not going to lie. It's a pretty card design. And I would love that Bruno Fernandes, but the people are paying nearly $1 million for that, and that makes me cringe a little bit. I don't see why. But we're 2-0 up against this guy in quite a tough game. I'm not going to lie. All of these games weren't easy today. I don't know what it was, but he ends up pushing through there with Werner, getting it into a Bernardo Silva and scoring the goal. And I don't know what the agility and dribbling stats are for that 90 rated player of the month, Werner. But I was getting like weaved around and I could not get to him. He would change direction every time I would try and tackle. I was really, really struggling to defend against him. He seems to be one of those kryptonite type players against me. Luckily for me though, I've got Neymar on my side and things actually went my way in this game, you know. We're 4-1 up here. It doesn't matter that he's about to score again. He gets through with Werner and of course he's going to score that. He's a very clinical striker. But yeah, that 4-3-3 that I've come up against a couple of times this weekend league, it's fresh to come up against it because pretty much everyone else uses 4-2-3-1 and that's super boring in my opinion. Although it must just be the most OP formation, I'm not sure. But yeah, it's tough to play against that 4-3-3. Look at this team we come up against then. That is honestly worth absolutely millions. Crazy, crazy squad to play against. I luckily got an opportunity to go 1-0 up 16 minutes in. It's probably the one and only thing I did in this entire game. Other than that, I was just watching my opponent do this. Wiggle around with my defender not really there and near him, and it was I genuinely couldn't defend against him. He had 71% possession against me and turned this game around rightly so. I would say that he is a high finishing elite player. I typed his name in. He'd finished in not quite the top 100, but in FIFA 19 he was up there in the top couple of 100 players. So he was obviously an unfortunate opponent to come up against. And yeah, it was just watching someone constantly drag back and weave and bob and change direction using some of the most agile players in the game. I quite clearly couldn't defend against it, and as you can see there, just utter annihilation and domination. And of course I just leave that one at 3-1 at half time. Why would you bother staying in any further? It was a bore fest, I'm not gonna lie. So the record is going to absolute tatters. But it doesn't matter because we've just got to get to 14 and we should be able to do that. Mbappe nearly scores, but a good save from De Gea. Fortunately enough for me, that one drops out to Neymar. You hate to see it because you hate the rebounds, but hey, it happened. We got the goal and we are 1-0 up at half time. Can we make it 2 though? It's looking likely as we're on the attack here. Ben Yedder knocks it into Neymar, back to Ben Yedder, into Bernardo, into Neymar. That's a solid goal. Lots of lovely one-touch passing and movement. That was just nice. I really like that goal. Considering things hadn't been going very well for me, it was nice to actually get a really well-worked passing move together where it doesn't get AI blocked. So I was pleased to see that. And this guy stopped playing towards the end there. That's how I got the 4th goal with Neymar. He just wasn't defending in the box. But we come away with a 4-0 victory there in a game which, I mean, look at it. Could have been a lot closer, really. I think my possession stats probably went up in the last couple of minutes when he wasn't playing. But that's our 13th win. So just one more win to go now. When we come up against this, and I'm like, well, I out-team this guy. I can, as long as he's not a crazy player, we're all good here. He's got Joe Gomez and Davinson Sanchez at centre-back, a lone Gerrard. I mean, it's a prime Gerrard at the end of the day. It doesn't matter that he's alone. He's still featuring, isn't he, in the game? And he was a very good player. I don't know if any of you guys have managed to pick up, probably using your coins rather than actually packing anyone. But I don't know if any of you guys have managed to get any of the icon moments so far. Their stats are super juiced this year. And I wonder if some of them are utterly game-changingly broken and awesome. Like I see like Henrik Larsson, and people wouldn't necessarily think to use baby mid or prime Larsson, but the moments version I think people are going to pay coins for. He genuinely looks great. So there's a lot of players which have just transformed and gone to that next level of usability. Let me know in the comment section if you've used any of them. Obviously we are many coins away from being able to afford something like that. But hopefully they, as they're in packs for longer and longer, maybe they drop in price and there's a couple of usable players that become into our budget and fit our budget. That would be really nice because I would like to try, one of these icons with the dynamic image. If they've got good agility or good skill moves or a good weak foot or something, it would be quite interesting and I really would like to try it. You might have noticed there we lost that last game 2-1, and it was one of those games where it was pretty even. The connection didn't feel great, and after a couple of dodgy defensive mishaps by myself, we ended up losing 2-1. But we go into the next game here and we go 1-0 up. I mean, it comes off the post and drops to Neymar again. Once again, you hate to see it, but hey, we'll take the goal. And then we're pushing for 2-0 here. 77 minutes on the clock. It'd been one of those games, a bit tough. Could have gone either way, but we eventually just out-Neymar'd him. And that's a technical term. And he ends up quitting, and that's going to be our 14th win secured. So yeah, I know it's not been the most positive of episodes today. Apologies for that, but the game just got to me. It happens all the time, doesn't it, really? So, particularly in that latter stage of your weekend league is where the old heads gone happens. When things just get to you, start playing some dodgy football, trying to rush your play to trying to get those goals, to get those wins so you don't have to play anymore. And at that point, it is a vicious cycle of losses, frustration, more losses, more frustration. And yeah, you don't come out with many wins in a row, that's for sure. I don't, anyway. So my overall conclusion of this weekend league is I do love my defense. I think they're great. I'm just not very good at defending on the game. So there's no complaints about my defense or my goalkeeper, really. Bernardo Silva's outstanding. He's better than Daniel James, and I would recommend you using him over Daniel James. Neymar is literally the GOAT on this game. Doucouré, I think, might be a bit of a fraud. I really wanted to like him, but I see myself subbing him off at half-time all the time, and Atal makes things easier in the second half. So that's what I would say about him. Mbappe, super quiet this weekend. I don't expect much from him from a wide cam. Still not sure as to whether or not I'm going to sell him or not yet. Ben Yedder, fantastic. Went a little bit quiet towards the end, but again, I think that's just me losing my head and not playing the greatest FIFA. But still, an absolutely brilliant card, and I may sell him just to sell him. I may sell him to do the player of the month. I may keep him. I may just change to the ones to watch. I don't know what I'm going to do, but I have to say that I think he's absolutely fantastic. He is a great player in this game. Totally fits how this game works with the high agility and great dribbling and 5-star weak foot and all of that stuff. I would assume he feels like a mini version of Eusebio on this game. He's about as close as you're going to get for not 3.5 to 4 million coins. So that's the weekend league summed up for me this weekend. Our first 7 victories, right? We went 7-0. And then for our second 7 victories, we went 7-9. Oh dear. It happens. I hope you guys are all right with that. I hope you had a slightly better weekend or a less stressful weekend than I did. If you have enjoyed the episode, do me a favor, hit that thumbs up button. Why don't you come and follow me on Twitter and Instagram? The links are down below. You can subscribe to the channel as well. That would be great if you're new around here. Most importantly, I hope you all have a wonderful day. We'll make some changes to the team and we'll work towards Osimhen for the rest of the week. And then, build up again, ready for another weekend league in a few days' time. Oh Lord. Have a great day, guys. I'll catch you next time. Peace.